the hook lying position. So your knees are bent, you're lying on your back, your legs are in parallel. And I want you to start by just lifting the shoulders up, back, and down. So we're trying to remind them to send down the back, away from the ears. And then I want you to take your hands onto your hip bones. So the heel of the palm will be on your hip bones, fingertips facing your pubic bone. And I want you to simply rock your pelvis forward and back. And then keep your fingertips here. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale and draw the pubic bone back, so we're in a posterior tilt, you'll feel those transverse muscles, those deep belly muscles contract. So you're going to inhale, rock forward. Exhale, draw it back. And then what we want is to find what's called a neutral spine or neutral pelvis. So your ASIS, those hip bones, are parallel to the floor. I'm going to have you take your left hand in the small of the back, right hand on top. Inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, pull up through the pelvic floor and feel your low belly melt into your low back. So you're kind of creating a spine sandwich. So then take your hands away. And as we move through, so you're going to lift a leg, bring it down. What we want to avoid is letting the pelvis rock. So let's go back, put your left hand underneath the small of the back, right hand on top. These are called knee folds. What I want you to do is float that left leg up to tabletop. So knee is over the hip. Activate the back of the thigh and the glute ever so slightly. Keep the hands here. You're going to reach the toe out, and you'll feel that pressure get a little bit greater on your hands. Exhale up. So we're trying to keep your hands pulling toward one another at all times. Exhale. So just by keeping one leg on the ground, we're helping stabilize your body. You're still working your transverse and your deeper abdominals, but we're not putting you at such a risk of pulling into your low back or pooching the belly out. So just start really slowly hinging that leg up and down, then place the left foot down. Let's do the right leg up. Exhale, reach away. So do about 4 to 5 on this side too. I like to inhale up, exhale, down. One more here. And then bring that foot down, arms long. And I want you to feel those arms actively pushing into your mat. Then we're going to think about your feet, your heels digging into the mat, the big toes, and your pinky toes. So we're going to go into a bridge. So starting with that tailbone lengthened, you're going to tilt the pelvis and peel. So your low back is going to push into the mat. We lift up one vertebra at a time. At the top, feel those feet nice and connected to your mat. And you want to imagine little circles, like little rubber bands, pulling the thighs toward one another, your hip bones, your lower waist, your waistline, your ribs. And then really think of pushing out of those heels so you feel your posterior line, your hamstrings, your glutes. We're going to hold here. Keep your eyes up on the ceiling, chin is off the chest, and then we roll down just a few vertebrae. Holding here, so you should feel a little bit more in the glutes, and then keep sinking those ribs down as you roll all the way down. Let's do that again. We'll go a little bit faster. Inhale through the nose, exhale, we slowly curl all the way up. Now this time at the top, we're going to go back and repeat what we did earlier, bringing the left leg up. So now we're going to do hinges, but your hips are up, so your belly is tight. We hinge down and up. By the way, I don't actually care if you tap the mat or not. It might feel better for you to make a smaller hinge and keep that control. So it's more about the hinging maneuver than actually tapping the floor down. So while we do this, place that left foot down. You should really feel the opposite side, hamstring, glute supporting. Bring that right leg up, and we're going to hinge for 1, and up, and 2, 3. So this actually takes quite a bit of work to execute correctly. 4, 5. That being said, it is safe for postnatal. Put your right foot down, and then we're going to roll all the way down. And let's give yourself a little squeeze. Hug those knees into your chest. Rock it side to side. If you are nursing, you definitely want to take time every day, if possible, to try to open the chest. We spend so much time as new mothers rounding your back. So let's try to counter that. Bring those knees over to your left and look over your right shoulder. So you're trying to get that right shoulder to melt into the mat, and then bring the knees center and roll over to the right. Left shoulder goes down. So really trying to open that left pec and back. Then let's do palms up and stay up on your tippy toes. And we're just going to go side to side. But this time I want you to really activate your deeper core muscles, obliques and transverse. So we go to the right with the knees. Exhale, your lower left obliques peel back onto the mat. We go to the left. Exhale, peel back. Over to the right. Exhale. One more time. And then rest the feet. Bring those hands behind the head. We're not going to do a chest curl at this time. I'm going to keep your head heavy, but just by bringing the arms up, it's going to make those abs work a little bit harder. Bring the left leg up to tabletop, and I'm going to have you inhale, stretch it out, exhale, pull the knee in. So we're kind of breaking down the single leg stretch here. So as you inhale out, can you keep your low back pushing into the mat? Exhale, draw the knee in. So I would say this is earlier postpartum, maybe 2 to 3 months. If you're just coming back at 4 months, start with this. If you are feeling, let's even yourselves out, right leg comes out. If you're feeling like you're a little bit past that point, you can do both legs at once, which I'll demonstrate in a second. Otherwise, this is a nice warm up. So you inhale, stretch, exhale, hollow the belly to bring it back. So if you do both at the same time, it looks like this. Left leg goes out and right leg goes out. Now the challenge of both legs in the air is you really have to actively work to push those ribs down and the low back down. You want to make sure we're not letting that back arch. And reach, and reach. 3, 2, get that low back down. 1, bring the knees in, bring the feet down. We are going to roll onto your side and onto your belly. So onto your belly, again, if you are breastfeeding, be careful with this. I don't want you in a point of discomfort, but bring your arms long in front of you. So your body's in a narrow X, and I want you to reach those fingertips as far as they will go. Inhale through the nose, exhale. I want you to lift up the chest ever so slightly, slide those shoulders down. Exhale out. So as you're lifting, you want to push the pubic bone down. Inhale, lift those hip bones up. So you're really supporting your lower core, lower spine. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now we're going to take your right arm and left leg, and we lift. So right arm, left leg. It's less about how high and more about how long you can get left arm, right leg. And right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. And then try, this is a challenge, but zip the belly in, squeeze your tush a little bit. Try taking all 4 up a few times. And 2. Then bring the arms back, palms up, and do a few here. Now this might feel a little bit nicer on your body. And then really think, opening the shoulders, reach back. And one more time, hold here, and we're just going to swim the legs today. So kick from the hips, your legs are really straight, point those toes. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. One more time. Exhale out. We rest, press back into child's pose. Lift your hips up. Heels together, toes apart, walk those arms out. This should feel really good. I recommend doing this daily, and then let your hips rock side to side. And then take your left arm, you're going to thread it underneath the right arm. Your right ear comes down towards the mat. And we switch to the other side. Right arm reaches under. And then finally, I want you to go into a quadruped position. So your shoulders are over the wrists, your hips are over the knees, and then you roll the shoulders back and down and really push tall. So we're not breaking into the wrists, you're really pushing up into the shoulder and back muscles. So start with your cat-cow, rounding the back. So you're zipping the belly in, pushing those ribs up. Inhale, open through. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, contract. Inhale, coming through. And then I want you to tuck your toes underneath. And we're going to zip the belly in, so really feel those belly muscles floating up into the spine. And I want you to just float the right knee up and then set it down. So this is really subtle, but you're gonna feel it in these deep transverse and oblique muscles. And left leg, and down. And now let's try taking both legs up. So your toes are curled, squeeze the shoulders back, and we lift, and hollow, hold for 3, 2, 1. You set the knees down. Let's do it again. Exhale up. So these are called floating cats. And down, and then finally let's do one airplane. So if this is too much, just do the leg only for now. But extend that right leg out, hold. Now make sure you're zipped in through here. Your leg is super straight. And now extend that left arm. Reach, reach, reach. You bring them in. And we'll do the other side. So start with the left leg. Now this is hiking, but you want to make sure it's not too high. Point the toe, draw the belly in. When you are ready, extend that right arm out. Exhale, come all the way in. Rest. One more little stretch here. You're going to sit facing me. Your knees are going over to the left, or your ankles I should say. Grab on, and we're going to reach over. Opening up the right side of your ribs. You lift, and you go over the other side. And then spin the legs around, and we'll do the other side. So start by reaching towards your shin, stretching over, and then you lift and go over the opposite side and rest. And that's where we're going to end today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this is helpful.